wanted. Both the neo-Nazis in Kiev and their Western patrons and all sorts of national traitors. They wanted Russian soldiers to kill each other, to kill military personnel and civilians, so that in the end, Russia would lose and our society would split, choke in bloody civil strife.
Захлебнулась в кровавой междоусобице.
West, keenly monitoring Russian development, denied any hand in the Wagner uprising.
I also convened our key allies on a Zoom call to make sure we're all on the same page. It's critical that we're coordinated in our response and coordinated in what we to anticipate. They agreed with me that we had to make sure we gave Putin no excuse. Let me emphasize, we gave Putin no excuse to blame this on the West or to blame this on NATO. We made clear that we were not involved. We had nothing to do with it. This was part of a struggle within the Russian system.
After a tumultuous weekend mutiny in which the Russian mercenary chief exposed Kremlin's vulnerability, Moscow is working hard to gloss things over to justify and blame the rest of the world for its predicament. Bureau Report, India Today.
This is where we wrap up the Newstrack tonight. For your time and your trust, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Till then, from all of us here, bye, good night.
Despite the recent rally, but returns have been sort of lukewarm for Indian equity investors, 10-11% kind of return over a 2-year period, which is a bit subpar. So are you confident that the next couple of years will make up for what has been a fairly pedestrian run for the last 24 months?
And actually, the returns that you've seen in Indian equity markets and in Indian small cap and mid caps have been about one of the best in the world at this point of time in the last 24 months. So while it may appear that the returns have been modest, I would say it is one of the best returns that you got anywhere in the world. If you look at the future, I would say that, we are in a very structurally in a very good shape. And that geopolitically we are in a very good shape, and from a macroeconomic point of view also we are in a very good shape. And but having said that, the challenge is that from a valuation perspective, we are one of the costliest markets in the world, and outside US, I would say we are one of the costliest markets at this point of time. So even going forward, it's tough to believe that you can get very big returns in the long run, in the medium run, I mean. But it is still India is one of the best markets to invest in for the long run. And because it's a very good structural story. But if the valuations were to become more reasonable, I think India would be a great market where you can get both good long-term returns and big long-term returns. Whereas today, because of valuation, it's difficult to predict very high returns at this point.
If you had to guess, and I know it's an impossible question to answer, but over the next 2 to 3 years, which we can classify as medium term, do you think the chances of Indian investors getting 10-11% kind of returns from equity are higher, or 50% plus kind of returns, which is essentially the desirable return for most Indian equity investors?
In late 90s, you could get 16 to 18% in many debt products. So at that point of time, I would say it was necessary for you to get 20% per annum to invest in equity. Today, you're not getting that kind of return. So as long as you get better returns than an alternate asset class, I think it is fairly attractive. And having said that, there are so many geopolitical imponderables which none of us know. And what can hurt markets in the near term? Do we know? The answer is certainly not. Did anyone expect the Ukraine war? The answer is no. Did any of us know that this could be a problem in 2022? The answer is no. So I think we all think that we know what will happen to markets, but periodically certain things happen in markets which we can't predict, and that is the reason why systematic investment plans and asset allocation are the two best ways to invest for most people in the long run.
Story posted. Oh, we're rolling? Wait a minute. Story posted. WhatsApp sent. So much to do, but I think it's a good idea to occasionally disconnect from your smartphone, or at the very least from social media. However, the majority of us still need our phones with us so we can make calls and send messages. Of course, you can leave your phone at home when you go out, and in my case, hopefully my cellular smartwatch as well. But the issue arises sometimes when you end up wasting an excessive amount of time scrolling and swiping away on mindless games and apps. Studies have actually shown that if you get addicted to your smartphone, it could possibly affect your relationships, mental health, and productivity. So sometimes it might be wise to take a step back and disconnect or detox from an increasingly connected world. Ironically, technology comes to the rescue here in the form of apps that can aid the process. So we've compiled a special Tech Today list of these apps which can really help you digitally detox and break this addiction for you in a matter of a few clicks. An excellent all-around digital detox app is App Detox. Literally, you can choose which apps you want to limit using this very app. Then you can make specific guidelines. You can decide, for instance, how many times you can open a given app and what time of the day you want access to it. You can view your app usage and completely block particular apps. Cleverest. The goal of Cleverest is to assist you in segmenting tasks. It is simple and straightforward as a user experience. Set a time limit and maintain your focus for that length of time. If you do, your avatar will prosper and expand. The Pomodoro technique, which suggests dividing things into manageable portions to help you stay motivated and focused, is the foundation of this very app. Forest. This app for digital detox won't disable your social media accounts, but rather creates a game-like situation to keep you focused. Open this app, plant a seed, and focus on the task at hand without being distracted by your phone. The timer will then start, and your seed will develop into a tree. Your tree will perish and you'll have to start over if you answer your phone before the timer expires. Procrastinators will appreciate this. Additionally, the program encourages you to spend the virtual coins you earn each time you develop a tree, and Forest will actually plant a tree as a result. You'll not only maintain your concentration better, but you'll also be planting new trees in the actual world. You can view your forest, which is exactly what it sounds like, and measure your progress over time. Just like with other top digital detox apps on this list, a virtual forest will contain a representation of each tree you've grown. Continue producing and expanding your forest.
Sorry.
नए दौर में दोस्ताना हमारा अब देखेगा जलवा ज़माना हमारा ये डीलों के दिन कुछ हिसाबों के दिन कई दिल जलो को जवाबों के दिन डिफेंस फील्ड में अच्छे ख्वाबों के दिन है वेलकम अमेरिका में जी मेहरबान मेरे जैसा फ्रेंड भी मिलेगा कहाँ मिलेगा कहाँ ऑटोग्राफ को दिल दीवाना हमारा अब देखेगा जलवा ज़माना हमारा
Co-presented by Star Health Insurance, the health insurance specialist.
Co-presented by JK Tyre Ranger Series, Stay Wild at Heart. Co-presented by Hafler, Let's Reimagine. Powered by NECC, Sunday Hoya Monday, Rose Khao Monday.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're with the news today. This is your primetime destination. News, newsmakers, talking points. Tuesday night, the big talking point. Prime Minister Modi's big pitch for a uniform civil code. Is this going to be his agenda for the 2024 elections? Will it, among other things, influence Muslim voters? We'll tell you more about the Prime Minister's